Good evening, everyone. I, Meghana Mehta, the VP Education of Amdavad Toastmasters Club, Area J1, Division J, District 98, welcomes all of you for the panel discussion on mentor-mentee relationship. I would like to state few ground rules before we begin our meeting. The first one is kindly mute yourself, stay muted throughout the meeting unless you get a chance to speak. Second, please avoid constantly in and out movement. You can set your noise making devices on silent or a switch off mode. Also, kindly refrain speaking on sex, politics, and religion. With this, I would also like to state our club mission. Our club mission is we provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. With this, we will begin our meeting, and today we have the wonderful session, and of course we have two dignitaries with us. Their immense contribution and their immense work, I mean, it is infinite to count whatever they have contributed to the Toastmasters fraternity. But still, I'll take some of their words to introduce themselves, and they'll be sharing their words of wisdom with us on mentor-mentee relationship, because this is a topic I found whenever we join as a new Toastmaster, or even after sparing few years, we are constantly in a search of that mentor who can constantly help us, guide us, and more importantly can give us a direction. So with this thought, I decided to have this panel discussion. So I would like to introduce our first panel speaker. He is a distinguished Toastmaster, retired founder and a CEO of Dr. Dilip LLC and a Speaker Service Unlimited, an accredited speaker since 1996. Abeysekara has also been world champion of public speaker, twice a time runner up. He worked as an inspirational speaker, trainer, and served as a pastor for the last 7 years. He offers speech coaching for a limited number of individuals. During the 25-26 program year, he served as the international president of Toastmasters. He was honored with a presidential citation from Toastmasters International and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Sri Lanka Foundation. He holds three chemical parents authored the book The Path of Genie, Your Journey to Your Heart's Desire, and co-authored the book Public Speaking with the Power, Passion and Purpose. He is also a published poet. With the thunder round of applause, kindly spotlight our first panel speaker, past international president, distinguished Toastmaster Dilip.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to introduce our second speaker. He is partner at JPKU Chartered Accountants firm. He is an eloquent speaker, an avid world traveler. Well, with this, I would just add that during COVID time, when I was attending multiple online meetings, I was keep on hearing his name, and that was like I was wondering who is he. Maybe I was not reading the Toastmaster magazine, but then later on, when I got to know, I was amazed that whether you travel to one district to another district, the members were keep thanking him for his help and for his immense contribution. His optimism is based partially on his experiences in District 82 in India and Sri Lanka, where membership has skyrocketed since the district was founded in 2006. It was ranked number one Toastmaster district in the world the four straight years, including 2009-10, when Menon was a district governor, district director. During his year of leadership, the district added 75 new clubs, a Toastmasters world record. The District 82 legacy was not built by its leader, but by its members. This is what our second speaker believes. He also served as an international president to our fraternity Toastmasters in 2019-20. And yes, he is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon. Kindly spotlight Deepak sir.
Thank you, Meghana.
It's our honor to have both of you, sir, today in our meeting. Well, I'm sure today you must be the mentor of champion speaker and leaders. And I'm sure we are keep on hearing your names from the members and from the leaders we meet. But I would like to ask the first question. I would begin that who is mentor and why mentoring is important. So first we would begin with Dilip sir, then we will move with the Deepak sir. So Dilip sir, why mentoring is important and who is a mentor?
Well, by definition, a mentor is considered a wise guide. The definition goes back to the Odyssey um, in the Greek myths, when Odysseus, the king, left on a journey. He left his son to be guided by a man named Mentor. Well, the story goes on that the king was held up for 10 years in travels, but Mentor was not the person who really guided his son. His son was guided by the goddess Athena. Uh, so the idea of a wise guide to help a person rise up in their dreams and ambitions became embedded in classical Greek mythology, and it came over to the current day. I'll give you a simple example of who a mentor is. I was a brand new Toastmaster. I had given, I think, my second speech at my club in 1986. And I received an evaluation that I didn't think was accurate or good. And there was a gentleman there who kind of read my face. After the meeting, as I was leaving, he called me aside and he said, "Dilip, I want to talk to you. I have a feeling that you are really serious about improving in Toastmasters and improving in speech. But I could see from your face that you rejected the evaluation. Is that right?" And I was dumbfounded. How did he know? He must have really read my body language very accurately. And I said, yes, I thought that the evaluation was not on the spot. And I couldn't see how I could implement what she was saying. And he said, Dilip, if you are really serious about improving in Toastmasters and becoming the speaker you can be, I urge you to think of evaluations as a gift you are receiving. Think about it, reflect on it. And those evaluations have the seeds for your own growth and greatness. He said it in such a nice way that I thought, oh my goodness, I never thought of it that way. I thanked him and left. That gentleman, whose name is George Knobloch, became my first mentor in Toastmasters. Sometimes mentors are ones who just see a need and fill it, not for anything they can gain, but because they see that someone could learn from it. Sometimes we go out and look for mentors, and both things happen. And I'm sure that Deepak has had these experiences. And later we reflect back, and my life is full of gratitude for all the mentors, informal and formal, who have come to my aid and helped me grow. So that's what a mentor does. A wise guide does not push, but encourages and pulls us forward to the greatness that we can achieve.
Thank you, sir. We would like to have Deepak sir's words of wisdom as well on this.
Thank you, Meghana. When Dilip has already spoken, there's very little that I can add, but I certainly would like to say that a mentor is a person who gives you valuable lessons. And a mentor can be actually anybody. It could be your sibling, it could be your parent, it could be your teacher, it could be your friend, it could be just anybody who can provide you some lessons. So, therefore, keep your eyes open, because the fact is that there are so many people around us that we can learn from, learn specific skills from. And so, therefore, watch out for what is it that a person does very well and that you would like to learn yourself, to emulate. And that person can become your mentor for that specific activity or thing that you want to improve on. So, what does the mentor do? The mentor helps you in accelerated growth in whatever you want to learn. So, if you want accelerated growth, you go to a mentor. And consequently, the journey that you have to experience gets shortened, because you get all this knowledge which is downloaded into you from your mentor. Now, Dilip was talking about an experience that he had when he joined Toastmasters and was delivering one of his early speeches. Let me tell you about an experience I had in 2006. It was May 2006, very hot month, everybody knows. And I was in a place called Colombo. Do you know where Colombo is? Yeah,
Sri Lanka.
absolutely, in Sri Lanka. And we were going to have our first conference just before the district was formed, District 82. And this was called Ovation 2006. And the chief guest for the event was International President Dr. Dilip Abeysekara. This gentleman was on this pedestal, and I was looking up at him and was wondering, how can I ever be even a little bit like Dilip? And I got this opportunity of talking to him and seeing him in person, one on one, in the flesh. And I realized he was such a humble person and such a knowledgeable person. And I asked him, Dilip, would you deign to be my mentor? And he accepted. He said, yes, of course I will. And May 2006 onwards, he became my mentor, my leadership mentor. He held my hand as I walked the journey of leadership from step to step to step. And when I was running for the board of directors for the position of international director, and again when I was running for second vice president, it was Dilip who was showing me the way. In fact, he invited me to come over to his house in the United States, and I went and stayed with him. And I was able to get so much experience and knowledge that came to my use, not just as a candidate, but ultimately when I was serving on the board of directors. So there's immense amounts that you can learn from a mentor. But if you have a mentor like Dilip, then the impossible becomes possible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So from this, I got my second question. So as you mentioned, sir, that mentor is someone who gives us a direction and all. So there are a lot of times I have found there are times when a mentee feels, demotivated, directionless. There is like so much of noise. There are a lot of things are going on, this and that, and it happens that, we as a mentee, we self doubt ourselves as well. So it happens with lot of people that we self doubt. We feel directionless. So in this kind of situation, how a mentor can motivate or can guide his mentee, that I would like to ask. And also one more, as you mentioned that, there are a lot of people who can be your mentor. So I mean, it is a difficult job to find that perfect mentor. So how to find that perfect mentor? So we'll have Dilip sir first.
Okay. First of all, there is no such thing as a perfect mentor because we are all imperfect human beings striving for perfection. So that's something for mentors to keep in mind, that they are there as a guide, but not as a driver. There's a statement I've seen about mentorship. Your job as a mentor is not to drive the car, but to give direction. Driving is done by the mentee. Uh, your first question was, how do you help someone who feels dispirited, discouraged, lost? I have been in that situation too in my journey in life. And fortunately, I've had wise mentors. The mentor acts as a sounding board. The mentor's One of the principal jobs of a mentor is to ask good questions and then listen and then help the mentee reflect. And in that reflection, help the mentee find answers for himself or herself. So the mentor-mentee relationship is a relationship that leads to self-discovery. Even if I think I have the answer, I try to restrain myself and not blurt it out because I would like the mentee to discover the answer for themselves. But if I ask the right questions, they will reflect and they'll come up with the answer. And then because they came up with it, it is theirs. If I say it, oh, it's just coming from outside themselves. But if I help them discover it for themselves, then they own it. So, and sometimes a good mentor just has to help the person articulate themselves. And in talking about it, they gradually discover an answer. And that's what I found to be true for others as well as for myself. Most people don't want a solution, they want someone to listen. And when the mentor listens and reflects, helps them reflect, they gradually discover direction for themselves. And then the mentor encourages them, and they have a sense of, the mentee has a sense of accountability to the mentor because they're going to meet again and they want to tell them what they did, what happened, and the way forward from there. In terms of finding a mentor, uh, Deepak already mentioned this, that for different skills, different areas of your life, you need different mentors because they require different experiences and different solution mindsets. So you're not stuck with just one mentor. You can have several mentors. I counted number of mentors I've had in Toastmasters. I think I came up with 7 different mentors over the years. They all played a principal role, and I found that, yes, I didn't expect one mentor to provide direction for everything I needed, but they were good at something, and therefore I approached them. And when they agreed to work with me, it was for that specified skill set that I needed. And once that was achieved, we discontinued the mentorship other than continue as friends. mentor-mentee relationships lead to friendships which last a lifetime. So, and I'm glad to say that's the same thing with Deepak. You make a lifetime friend and you appreciate each other and cheer each other, and you're always there for each other. So that's my
Thank you.
contribution.
Thank you, sir. Now we like to have Deepak sir's opinion as well.
Thank you, Meghana. Very little I can add to what Dilip has said about how you're going to be able to help a person, a mentee who is dispirited and depressed and dejected and has perhaps lost their direction. So I'm just going to give you an example. Years ago, when I was serving as international director, I happened to have a visit to a district in China. At the end of the day, after the events were done for that particular day, we were sitting around trying to get to know each other. We were a group of about 8 or 10 people. And there was this young Toastmaster who, when she was asked to introduce herself, said she was feeling very frustrated and she felt that Toastmasters was not leading her anywhere and that she was ready to quit Toastmasters. So I spent some time talking to her, understanding why she was feeling the way she was. And at the end of our conversation, I gave her a challenge. I suggested to her that she could involve herself a little more in mentoring people in her club, and also challenged her to obtain her DTM within a certain time frame. In 4 years' time, she had completed her area director position. She had been division director, and she had got elected 4 years later as the district director of her district. And she wrote to me saying that it was that conversation that helped her in finding her way through Toastmasters and achieving all that she could. So a conversation can change the life of a person. A conversation, provided you have listened carefully. You know what that person is facing as a challenge and how you can help them in finding a direction. So as Dilip said, you're not going to run that for them. They have to do it for themselves. So you can only give them a direction. Ultimately, they have to make the choice. So the choice lies with each one of us as to where we want to head to. The mentor shows us possible paths that we can take to achieve what our goals are. And the goals are ours, not the mentor's goals. The mentor has their own goal, but we, as the mentees, also have our goals that we want to achieve, but we need to find them ourselves. The mentor can help us in finding us those goals. But how do we find a mentor? I think I already talked about it when I answered the first question. There are mentors all over the place, and all you need to do is to keep your eyes and ears open. But there are two kinds of mentors. One is a mentor who's assigned to you. Generally, when you're a new member, the club will assign a mentor to you because you really don't know anybody in the club. And so they become your first mentors. But then as life progresses, as your club experience progresses, that's when you decide, okay, I need somebody else to help me as well. Perhaps you're participating in a speech contest, and now you know there are some champion speakers in your club, or perhaps somebody who writes great speeches, and you need some tips from them. So they can become your mentor for that specific purpose. As I said, Dilip became my leadership mentor, showed me the way how I could achieve beyond the district, even within the district. I had another mentor who knew the governing documents like the back of his hand. That was distinguished Toastmaster Janaki Prasad Patnaik. He's no more now. He passed away a few years ago. But he was an invaluable resource for me when I was serving as a division governor of a brand new district with nobody having any idea as to what exactly a division governor or any district officer was supposed to do. And it was Janaki who came to my aid. And so I was always on a hotline with him because I was always full of questions and he was always willing to give me answers. So that's the kind of thing that a mentor does. And so you need to find who will best support your specific need at the time you need it. Thank you, Meghna.
Thank you, sir. Well, I truly echo the opinion shared by Dilip sir and Deepak sir. So, most of the time when we join a Toastmaster, our goal is to be a good communicator and a public speaker. Well, 99% of the time, people join because of this reason as well. But later on, if I talk about when I also joined, I wanted to focus on my public speaking skill. That was the common goal, like everyone joined. But later on, when I took up my first district leadership role, maybe that was my assumption. Like when I met my division director for the first time, I assumed that, I don't know, like, meeting her the first time, how we would be able to connect and all. But later on, throughout the year, I found a really great mentor in her, and specifically always teaching me a lesson that you need to focus on your goal and on your responsibility, rather than focusing on the outside noises. So whatever your role and responsibility, you need to focus on. So that was my major learning from my division director when I took up my first leadership role. And then I decided that apart from my speaking mentor, I could also have my leadership mentor, district leadership mentor. And then I made her my district leadership mentor. So anyone who is present in this panel discussion, you may figure out if you are interested in PR, if you are interested in leadership, if you are interested in, maybe even there are a lot of Toastmasters who are interested in storytelling. There are a lot of Toastmasters who are good in it. So you can make them as your mentor as well. So it is not only important that you have only public speaking mentor, but you can also have your leadership, PR, and marketing mentor, or any other interest which suits you. I even remember the craziest email subject line I wrote just in order to catch his attention and to make him my mentor, because he's the one who has a very limited amount of mentees. And there are a lot of people who told me he won't even reply to your mail. So I think that was the line I wrote, "Where is my mentor?" And I think this is how it started, just to catch his attention. And I got my first outside district mentor, and I'm very fortunate to have him. Later on, moving on to the next discussion part. Sir, as you said that, mentor is our sounding board, where I also agree to this statement that there are times when I just need to release my frustration. So I have my district mentor, I have my another mentor or my friends as well. So that time we don't need a particular advice, because that, doubles your frustration. That time we only need someone to listen to you and then just tell you to calm down. So a mentor always plays the role of a guide, or I would say the person who gives the direction, a really good listener, I would say. So how do you feel this mentor mentee relationship could strengthen and then can go forward? I mean, how it can be better even? We'll start with Dilip sir.
Okay, thank you, Meghana. Since time is flying by, would you kindly show the slide that I had asked you to show? We
Yes.
can
Uh,
screen share.
yes. Ashwini, can you show that slide which I shared with you?
Thank you.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
visible.
Okay, good. So this slide actually answers many questions that arise when we discuss mentors and mentees, the four stages of competence. This is not my creation. This has been well known for a long time. The four stages are: the first stage is unconscious incompetence. You are unaware of the skill and your lack of proficiency. You don't know what you don't know. The perfect example is the person who first joins Toastmasters. They don't know what they don't know. And so they don't even know what questions to ask because they don't know. But they go from there as they gain experience and learn to conscious incompetence, where you are aware of the skill but are not yet proficient. You know what you don't know. Many people have come to me to help them with their speech contest speeches. They are aware that they don't know how to structure a speech. So they come to me for mentoring. Conscious incompetence. Then we go from there to conscious competence. You know what you know. You are able to use the skill, but only with effort. It doesn't come really easily, but you have to be disciplined and force yourself. Conscious competence. And then after you do that for a while and you do it well, it becomes unconscious competence. Performing the skill becomes automatic. You are not conscious of what you know. You just do it. It flows. So when you look at this, you see that there are people who have unconscious incompetence, people who are consciously incompetent. These are the people who need mentors. There are also people who are consciously competent, but they could do even better. They could do with mentors. Those who are unconsciously competent are the ones who can perform a skill at a high level without thinking about it, but they are the ones who are perfectly in the pool to become mentors. But they've never thought about it. So once they become mentors, they start thinking, what is it that I do that makes this work? I can understand where my mentee is because I was there at one time. And so they pass that on. We want to move from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence. It's like driving a car. You have to think about what you are doing carefully when you're learning to drive a car. But after you've driven for a while, you don't even think about it. You just do it unconsciously. So your question, Meghana, was about cultivating the mentor-mentee relationship. Is that right?
Yes, sir. How to strengthen that bond?
Yeah, how to strengthen that bond. I think it's, first of all, it's vital for both to understand what's expected of them. The mentor to be a sounding board, to listen, not to always give the answers, but to encourage the mentee to discover the answers for themselves by guiding them, by asking questions so that they become the discovery of their own direction. But the mentee also has a responsibility in that the mentee should be driving that relationship, meaning driving the meetings. When I have a mentee, I expect the mentee to make the call to me. I expect the mentee to tell me, I need help, or, I'm really happy about this, or I'm very sad about this, because the mentee drives it. I'm there to listen, encourage, believe in the mentee, and when they are down and out, encourage them by showing them that they are learning and growing, maybe in ways that they did not know they were. For example, someone who loses a speech contest, they can be very upset. So I listen and then point out that there are no losers in a speech contest. By entering that, you learn something valuable. So ultimately, it's the core values of Toastmasters that work: integrity, respect, service, and excellence, right? When we practice these as mentor and mentee with each other, we will strengthen that bond. And I believe that not only will we strengthen the mentor-mentee relationship, but we will become friends in a very real sense, people who care for each other. So that's my answer, Meghana.
Thank you, Dilip sir. And now we'll move to Deepak sir for his opinion as well.
Thank you, Meghana. Thank you, Dilip, for elucidating on how that bond can be strengthened. I can add a couple of other things as well. So, I think first and foremost, the mentor must always be available. Somebody that the mentee can trust in all situations and know that that mentor is going to be available to them. Because you never know when that need arises and you need your mentor. And if the mentor is not going to be available, it becomes a challenge for the mentee. So, knowing that the mentor is available can help in strengthening the bond. Also, it's important for the mentor and the mentee to get to know each other very well. So, it's not just about what they are in Toastmasters, but also beyond Toastmasters. What makes them tick? Who is the mentee? Who is the mentor besides being a Toastmaster? Because once you have that personal knowledge about each other, you're able to have more open relationship and open conversations which help you in achieving your needs and your goals because you know what you can talk about. Also, it's important to have clear boundaries established as to what is it that you will be able to do and what you will not be able to do. So that there is clear understanding as to the limits of the mentorship because a mentor doesn't know everything and the mentee perhaps doesn't know or want to know everything from this particular mentor. So therefore, establishing limits also is very helpful in ensuring that the bonds are strengthened and you know what you can expect from each other. I see the red card, and so therefore, I think I'm going to hand it back to you, Meghana.
Well, thank you, sir. Yes, for mentor-mentee relationship to strengthen the bond, of course, it is important to know each other first and to care genuinely about, and later on, it also helps in building friendship. So, as we got the red card, we end the 30-minute discussion here, and now I will ask to audience if they have any question, you can share in the chat box and we'll take it up. We'll have a 10 minutes for this. You can write your question in the chat box. I have got the first question, sir. So, someone has asked that how can we find our mentors when we do not have enough network? That's the first question I have received.
Would you repeat that question, please?
How can we find a mentor when we do not have enough network?
Deepak, would you answer that? And I can say something too, but I'd like to hear your response.
Absolutely. So, what is the meaning of network? What do you mean by network? Now, network could be your friends, your relatives, your colleagues. It could be anybody beyond your sphere of influence. But the fact is that it's those people who you know who can help you in reaching out and building and growing your network. So, why not identify a person who can be of assistance to you within your sphere of influence and make sure that you use their relationships to increase your network of influence as well? So, the thing is, find the people within your sphere who can be of assistance to you. As I mentioned earlier, anybody can be your mentor. Anybody, which includes your friends, your family, your parents, your teachers, your siblings. So get anybody to help you in that initial situation, and that will also help you in widening your network and your circle of influence.
And if I may add to what Deepak said, sometimes we can use our existing network to find new network partners. For example, when I was competing at the World Championship of Public Speaking, I wanted to make sure that I had every chance to reach people who were not familiar with my accent. Having come from Sri Lanka, there were some Americans who couldn't quite understand what I was saying. So I needed to find someone who could coach me to speak so clearly that Americans would understand what I was saying. But I didn't know anyone. But I used my Toastmaster network to find a coach. I found a coach in Philadelphia. And so for 1 year, I traveled to that coach to listen to me and help me shape the way I made sounds so that Americans could easily understand what I said. But that was an example of using my existing network to go beyond to find people I needed. So as Deepak said, we have already a bigger network than we probably think we do. Friends, family, neighbors, our community, Toastmasters, service clubs, our temple, our church. We have a wide network. We haven't really thought about it much. Use that, and if necessary, you can go beyond that.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom. I would like to take two more questions. So, one, I'll take it up as someone has asked: is there a difference between mentor and a coach? So, is there any difference between mentor and coach? I mean, Dilip sir would like to answer, or Deepak sir first.
Yeah, I can answer that. A mentor sometimes does the role of a coach for a limited time, but a coach usually refers to a skill. Here's how you bat. Here's how you bowl. Okay, it's for a specific skill. A mentor has a wider sphere of guidance and direction. But sometimes the mentor can step in and say, okay, this is what you want to achieve. I think I can help you. But if it's not within the mentor's skill level, the wise mentor will refer them to someone who can help them. So, for example, if someone asks me for help with humorous speaking, that is not my strength. Though I like to use humor, it's not my strength. But I would refer them to someone who's really good at it. And that person can coach them. So here I've done my job as a mentor to help them find the resource they need. And then that particular resource can provide the coaching. So they kind of overlap, but the mentor is aware that the main job is not to coach. Main job is to give direction and help them move in the direction of their dreams. Meghana.
Thank you, Dilip sir. Deepak sir, would you like to add something, or
No, I think let's move to the next question.
okay, we'll take the last question. So someone has asked that how do you find a balance if your mentee and mentor thoughts do not align sometimes, and what do you do in such scenario? So if there is a mismatch between mentor and mentee thoughts, so how to tackle that situation?
Thank you for that question. So the first few meetings that a mentor and mentee must have is to determine whether they can actually work together or not. It's quite possible that they're polar opposites and that they do not see eye to eye on a variety of topics or things. And consequently, for the mentee, it may be better to find somebody else who they can work with. So it's important at the very beginning to understand the basis on which this relationship can function and how well you can get along with your mentor. For instance, perhaps while you are looking for somebody who can help you in achieving leadership positions in your district or perhaps beyond the district, and the mentor that you've selected for this has absolutely no idea about how this can be achieved or what are the possibilities that are available. And in which case, this mentor may not be of any use to that mentee. And the mentee may need to find another person who can help in achieving the objectives that they're looking for. So, consequently, it's better to end the relationship or find what can be worked through with the assistance of that mentor that you have. But in any case, you'd have to find alternative mentors for the purpose that you're seeking and people that you can work with and get along with.
Thank you, sir. So with this, we are ending the question and answer round as well. I'll just sum up that uh, in this session, we discuss about who is mentor, why mentoring is important, how this bond can be strengthened, and yes, there is no perfection. We all can have a different mentors. A mentor can be your sounding board. It can be a genuine friend, a caring person, and with whom you can share a lovely bond, who is always be available to guide you. And I'm sure even if you can just call and you are feeling frustrated and you just want to release your frustration, I'm sure that person is always there to at least listen to you. So we discussed all those things in this session, and also we had a couple of questions as well. Now I would like to ask Dilip sir and Deepak sir if they would like to add something before we begin with my evaluation.
Thank you, Meghana. Uh, for closing thoughts, I would just suggest that we, especially Toastmasters, are interested in learning, in lifelong learning, which means the mentor-mentee relationship should be of great interest to us because it allows us to expand our knowledge and our progress towards the goals that we have. Every mentor should enjoy being mentor to someone, but also every mentor can be a mentee to a suitable mentor. Lifelong learning is part of the Toastmasters DNA, and so it goes along with what we do as an organization. The second is for mentors and mentees to realize that the mentor's job is not to provide the solution every time there's a challenge. The mentor's job is to help the mentee discover the solution by carefully worded questions, by encouragement, by failing them, and helping them become their own captain. So those are the two thoughts that I would leave with you. And again, thank you, Meghana, for being an excellent moderator and for creating this session, which I hope District 98 Toastmasters will benefit from.
Thank you, Dilip sir, for sharing your words of wisdom. Now, would like to ask Deepak sir to add something.
Thank you very much, Meghana. It has been an honor to be on this panel with my mentor, Dilip. And thank you for inviting us to be a part of this panel. I'd like to paraphrase our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley, in this month of his birthday. He has said that we're all spark plugs, and it needs a mentor to fire us with enthusiasm and passion for all that we need to achieve and need to do. So a mentor is truly a person who can light that fire of enthusiasm, who can help you achieve your dreams, but provided you know what your dreams are. He can help you, as I mentioned earlier, to make the impossible possible because you are able to discover so much with the aid of this mentor. I can only say I ended up becoming the international president of Toastmasters International, all thanks to all the mentors I've had in my life. Mentors like Dr. Dilip that I talked about, and another past international president, Ted Corcoran, who has been, again, a huge mentor for me. in my leadership journey. So all my mentors helped me achieve what I could. I could never imagine that I could achieve all that I have. And looking back, it seems to me as if it were a dream. But it's all thanks to the mentors. So, my friends, my advice to all of you is if you don't have a mentor, go find a mentor. If you have a mentor, find all that that mentor can offer you. And if that mentor is unable to give you what you want, go find another mentor. Back to you, Meghna.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Thanks to both of you, sir. We'll have my 2 to 3 minute speech evaluation, and then I would request you to please stay back. We would like to appreciate you. A small token of appreciation we have, sir, for both of you. Kindly stay back for 5 more minutes, sir. So now I would like to introduce my speech evaluator, my project evaluator. She's someone I know since 2022 when I took up my first district leadership role and I serve under her as an area director. She has been a Toastmaster from past 5 years. She has taken all the XCOM roles except SA. She worked in various leadership capacities since last 3 years, including all the XCOM position, yes, except SA. She has been an area director. She is a President Distinguished Division Director 2022 for Division J. She now takes refuge in guiding mentee and members into various roles. She is currently serving our District 98 as a program chair for District Conference Eloquence 2024. She is a part of Readers in Heavens Club. She loves to read books, and this nobody knows that she also likes to observe people. But this I know since I made her my district mentor. Please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jyoti Bhatt.
Thank you, Meghna. Shall I start?
Sure.
A mentor is someone who allows to see the hope inside yourself, said Oprah Winfrey. Toastmaster Meghna, I congratulate you on successfully conducting this panel discussion on mentoring. Let me list a few highlights of this session. Selection of topic and panel. Apt selection of panel, such accomplished veterans chosen on speaking on the topic. Even the topic is also significant in a Toastmaster's life. Given expertise of the panelists on the topics, 100% marks on the selection of the topic and the panel. Second is planning and organization. Looking at the questions asked, I could see the in-depth planning and execution. Your questions and also the answers given covered many topics which could have been handled in half an hour. Third is audience engagement. You also gave adequate time for audience to interact with panelists that made them pour in their questions. Now let us see how this panel discussion could have been better handled. Given that we had two great personalities in house, I felt that few things could have been taken care. I have a few suggestions for this. First is setting the tone. When you started with the panel discussion, you directly went into the introduction, whereas you could have given everyone present some idea about what is this panel discussion about and why the need was felt. Maybe just 2 minutes or 1 minute also is enough. Second point is summarizing. After each question, I was expecting you to summarize the answers and give a simple gist our esteemed panelists said. Like, for example, when they said, mentors do not give solutions, but takes mentee to the solutions through conversations. Very great, important lesson for a mentor. Third is, given their expertise, I felt that you could have asked different questions to both of them. At least try to avoid the common questions like who is a mentor, which could have had a very standard answer to it. So adding different questions to both of them, which would have given you chance to ask them additional questions, which we later saw in the chat box. So one question which I felt was important out of those was what not to do between a mentor and mentee relationship. So to summarize, excellent panel discussion with selection of topic and panelists, planning and organization and audience engagement, with setting tone of the meeting, summarizing each question shortly, asking different questions to both of them. This panel discussion would have reached near perfection. Thank you, and over to you, Meghna.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jyoti, for giving me such a constructive feedback. And I'll be definitely incorporating this for my next project or whenever I'm playing this panel moderator role. Well, it was indeed a huge learning for me to complete this project, and as well as from this pathway, lot of Toastmasters are gaining new skills, gaining new knowledge to perform such roles. So indeed, I also urge members to finish their path and also perform their electives. Definitely would help you to add certain skills. So with this, I would like to ask our Zoom master, Toastmaster Ashwini, to kindly show the appreciation, the token of appreciation. Yes, so we would like to appreciate Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Dilip sir, for
Thank you.
giving us your precious time and helping me even before conducting this session. Deepak sir and Dilip sir, they both have helped me even to understand and how to take this panel discussion further. So I'm really humbled enough for their kind gesture, for giving their precious time to our District 98. And I'm sure we have lot of new members, and their expertise knowledge will definitely gonna help our District 98 members. So again, thanks is such a small word, sir, but this is our way to show our gratitude towards you, sir. So thanks again for giving all of us your precious time.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
thank you, sir. Now we would like to have the token of appreciation for Deepak, sir. Thank you, Deepak sir, for being very kind enough, for helping all of us to understand what is mentor, mentee, how we can, strengthen this bond, and also giving your time, your knowledge, your expertise. And we are very humbled enough today to have you. And specifically talking about mentorship. So thanks again from Amdavad Toastmaster District 98. All of our member would definitely will go back with some of the learning, the great lessons they have learned from you. So thanks again, sir, for giving us your precious time, sharing your knowledge, and just a small amount of uh, appreciation we can show. Can you change the certificate, Ashwini? Can you show us the, yes, now it's perfect. Okay. Thank you, Deepak sir. It's a small amount of appreciation we can share to you. I mean, thanks for sharing your words of wisdom,
Thank you,
both of
Meghna.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Can we have appreciation for Ashwini and Jyoti as well? I would like to appreciate Area Director Ashwini. She's serving with the Division B, Mumbai, as an area director, and she has helped me within a short span of time when I had one back out. And she was the first one who tell me, Meghna, can I play both the roles if you are fine with it? And I would say, thanks a lot, Ashwini. I was looking for someone who can help me because I had two backouts. So, Ashwini, show the certificates for you as well. And also now we would love to see you, Ashwini. You can stop showing timer cards. We would like to see you, Ashwini. Everyone would love to see you. Yes.
Mm.
So she is Ashwini, our area director currently in Division B. Thanks a lot, Ashwini, for helping me and of course saving me. Thanks a lot. Now we'll have an appreciation for Jyoti as well. So thanks a lot, Jyoti, for playing the role of my speech evaluator, giving me such a constructive feedback. And she's the one who always gives the reality check. I always say that she always shares a very constructive feedback. So thanks a lot, Jyoti. Your suggestions will be implemented in my next project. Thanks again for giving all of us your time. So, on behalf of Amdavad Toastmaster, Division J, District 98, I again thank all our members, all of you present here, all the audience, speakers, Jyoti, Ashwini, everyone. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. And I'm sure in India it's a night, and I think for Dilip sir it would be early morning. We can have one group photo and then we can leave. Everyone can switch on their camera, can smile. We can take a group photo. Then we can adjourn. I'll take it. Everyone, switch on your video. Come on. Say smile. I see some of the smiles. Yeah, yeah. I wish you a good night to India, and of course, Dilip sir, good morning to you.
Congratulations, Meghana.
Well done. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, Dilip. See you.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye.
Deepak.
So much.
Thank you.
Wonderful session. Deepak sir, before you leave, can you please take my question that I shared in the chat?
This is
I
your
have two
question.
questions there.